Yo guys, Katie here. So I thought I'd just do a quick post, or a quick video for you guys while I'm sitting in here in the sun looking after a baby while daddy's playing outside with the girls in the jungle gym. And one of the things I've been asked to talk about, I've been asked actually to talk about quite a few things, which I will address at some stage. But one of the things is engorgement. And basically, this is for breastfeeding moms. Engorgement is when your boobs are very full of milk and they get very, very heavy, so hard, like they literally feel like rocks. And inside those rocks is like rocks as well, like little stones, and it's just so sore. You get swollen ducts everywhere. I had balls in my armpit about this big, they were huge. So some moms can avoid this with their newborn. I've never been able to, unfortunately, with all three pregnancies. That newborn engorgement was severe. So my milk came in on the first day, which I've been very lucky with. I was leaking throughout the pregnancy as well. Not that much this time, so I was a little bit concerned that I wasn't going to be able to breastfeed, but I'm good with that. I've got enough milk for a creche. And yeah, so basically, when the milk comes in and you're busy working on the whole supply and demand chain, sometimes there's a little bit of oversupply. And a lot of the breastfeeding pages, disclaimer, I'm not against the breastfeeding pages, I'm just saying what was right for me and what worked for me. A lot of them will say, don't pump, rather get into a shower and do a manual, like you basically squeeze a little bit of the milk out just to soften the nipple, because if the nipple is soft, baby can latch, because literally your nipple gets full of milk as well, and it distorts and gets hard, and because it's hard, the baby struggles to latch correctly, and it is very, very, very sore. So I've managed to just feed through it for the third time now. My boobs are now beautiful and soft again. Um, latch has been a little bit of an issue. I suspect a little bit of an upper lip tie, but nothing worse than I'd had with the girls. And yeah, so that's basically what engorgement is. And what I actually wanted to say was a lot of moms seem to feel like or seem to think that they have mastitis, which is something completely different than engorgement. So that's basically, engorgement can cause mastitis, yes, but that's, when your ducts get blocked and you literally get a breast infection. And mastitis is, yeah, it's completely different from engorgement. So engorgement is the swelling of the breast tissue. It is exceptionally uncomfortable. And I think that's when a lot of moms tap out of breastfeeding. But I promise you, if you can get through the first 2 weeks, you can get through anything. Your breasts will engorge every time your baby's food demand changes. If it gets higher, you'll get an engorgement, but it's the newborn engorgement that is the one thing that if you can get through that, you can get through your breastfeeding journey 100%. It's yeah, it's very, very unpleasant. But if you really want to breastfeed, you can do it. You really, really can, and you can get through it. The way I got through it was actually, one of my clients said that this is the way that she got through it. Her little boy was basically, in her words, was macerating her nipples, and that's kind of what it feels like. It gets really, really sore, especially if the latch is also not correct. And she said she would just count aloud. And I mean, there were times where I sobbed. And I don't like to cry in front of my girls. I know people should cry in front of their kids and stuff, but I'm not a pain shower. But I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed for probably about 2 of those days. And I just started managing it with, I use coconut oil as my moisturizer after my shower. I don't use nipple cream or anything like that. I don't feel like that's necessary. I use nipple cream on my lips though. It's a wonderful lip softener. But yeah, I just counted, and it started with counting to 20 and aggressively and vigorously counting to 20, gritting my teeth, and yeah, we're down to like 5 now. And sometimes I don't even need to count, sometimes the latch seems to be alright, and yeah, it becomes easier. I promise you, it becomes easier. So if you want to breastfeed and your boobs are engorged, it's very sore. I know it's very sore, but you got this. Another thing that I forgot to mention was I pumped. They say do not pump before your 6 weeks, before you've worked out your supply demand, 6 weeks, whatnot. And I always found that pumping just a little bit would help also to soften that nipple, and then baby would be able to latch better, because the way baby sucks, the baby drains the engorgement out, and it really helps a lot. So I did pump a little bit, and it did work for me. The squeezing in the shower and whatnot really, I don't know. I can't. I mean, you go to the gynae and she presses and like your milk is spraying. I could never do that to my own boobs, but yeah, the pumping did work. I just used a silicone pump that I got from Mama Moo, and yeah, it was adequate. It was enough. I didn't have to sit with an electric pump or anything, and yeah, it really helped me quite a lot. A lot of people say cabbage leaves. I didn't find that helpful me at all. I do also have breast soothers. They're like gel packs that fit into the fridge, and I didn't use those either. Um, yeah, so I'm still working on some of my engorgements. Right around the top, I've got, right now by my collarbone, I've got a little bit of a stripper band of engorgement, but what I do is when I'm feeding, I just press it down and give it kind of a massage, and it is 99% better. So, yeah, my point is if you want to breastfeed and you're engorged and really sore, you've got this. You can do this. Count to 20 and you will be fine. As soon as those first 2 weeks are over, absolute max 3 weeks, you are going to be a champion breastfeed.